What up, Doe? What up, Doe? We are back at it again with another episode of Lions 411. Obviously, it's been a little bit of time since we checked in. We got live too, and the Lions have literally been doing nothing. So, well, I guess they've been doing something now. Not good things, but we'll talk about that in a second. But definitely good to be back. Of course, things are going to start ramping up soon. Training camp, all those things are going to get going shortly, preseason, and next thing you know, we'll have another season of Lions football upon us. So definitely getting ready to ramp things up. Also going to continue to talk about Pistons basketball a little bit. So for anybody that follows that, feel free to check in. Going to give our opinions on the draft and signings and all that kind of stuff. But if y'all forgot, of course, King Keith here. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at _Dr. King's Dream. Pass it over to my co-hosts.
Why, thank you, little brother. All right, my name is Sierra. Everybody calls me CB. Well, most people call me CB. You can follow me on Instagram, CB Love That For You. You can follow the 411 Lions podcast on TikTok, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, pretty much anywhere you get your podcast. I know we have taken a little bit of time off. I believe it's been about almost 4 weeks because I believe our last episode was May 18th. It is now June
25th.
June 25th. So we just wanted to take a little bit of time to get some news, let the Lions go through OTAs, which they are done with OTAs. Dan Campbell didn't really do a rookie mini camp this year. They did the 2-day mandatory mini camp, which they just wrapped that up, I believe, last week. So the Lions are on a break. They're on a summer break. Their training camp starts late July. So, speaking of training camp, we got a couple things that may put Lions secondary training camp into question. So, Detroit Lions starting cornerback Terrion Arnold, as of last night around 9-10 o'clock, has been arrested on 8 felony counts. 4 felony counts for armed robbery, 4 felony counts on kidnapping in Tampa, Florida. Some get back scheme. He is facing a life sentence. Now, this is Florida. They don't play. So now, we wanted to wait to do this episode because there's been a lot of strong reactions. Some people are now blaming Brad Holmes for this, which is kind of crazy. Yeah. I'm like, he didn't have any off the field. He didn't have any, red flags. So I'm not going to sit here and blame Brad Holmes for this. But yeah, he has been arrested. Do you want to tell some of the story or do you want me?
Yeah. I mean, as you mentioned, it was essentially some kind of a get-back scheme. Terrion was staying at an Airbnb with some friends. I believe this was back in February. And there were some individuals who he believes took some things from him. Jewelry, money, the usual, those kind of stuff. Valuable items that he believed was taken from him by specific individuals. So, purportedly, again, all this is alleged, but, the details are pretty much out there at this point. It was alleged that him and a couple of other individuals sent some women to set some men up to get them to come to a specific location. At that point, they were lured to the location by the women, and they were directed to 2 individuals who were in Terrion Arnold's party, were broke into, essentially, the space. They were hiding, actually, in a closet, is what the report says. They were hiding in the closet in that specific house, and they busted out the closet, started beating the people up, holding them at gunpoint, and they FaceTimed Terrion Arnold, who was supposed to be the ringleader of the situation, and, he was kind of directing them on what to do and how to handle it. It sounds like at some point that Terrion Arnold and another individual who was one of the co-conspirators showed up to the house and did whatever they may have done. I don't think those details have come out yet. And then eventually these people were let go. But they were held. They were beaten. They were held at gunpoint, and things were taken from them as well. Essentially, like you said, a get-back style kind of occurrence. So that's like the main details of the story. CB, I don't know if you have anything else you want to add.
Okay, so thank you for kind of going over the story. I got a couple things wrote down because I don't want to put words in anyone's mouth, but I want to ask you a question. Why did Terrion Arnold and his friends set up this issue? What happened?
Again, it was believed that something was taken from them by these specific individuals. So they, again, used these women to reach out to them, to contact them. I'm not sure exactly, again, in what state. We will learn during, pretrial hearings, all that kind of stuff. I think the details of it, but they believe that something was taken from them, and it does sound like something was taken from them. But the police believe that the people who were victimized in this situation by Terrion Arnold and his party were not the people who took things in the first place.
Okay. Thank you for that. I wanted to go over a couple things that I wrote down. I actually read the police report now. Yeah, so I read the police report. So I wanted to just go over a couple things just so we aren't putting words in anybody else's mouth. We are kind of more so speaking from what the alleged indictment is saying. This happened in Tampa, Florida.
Mm.
Y'all keep in mind with Florida, they don't play. You come on vacation, you leave on probation.
Yeah.
So I believe it was February 3rd, 2026, Terrion Arnold's Airbnb. He rented out an Airbnb for a week just to have people staying. People are coming in and out. He rented out an Airbnb in Tampa, Florida for a week. And it is alleged that $250,000 worth of items and cash were stolen, basically.
Mm.
So Terrion Arnold goes to file a police report,
Mm.
I believe February 3rd. Less than 12 hours after he filed that police report, he wasn't patient. He didn't wait until the investigation concluded. February 5th, or the early morning of February 5th, the robbery occurred. So less than 12 hours that he filed the police report, he got this whole robbery crew, whatever. The robbery occurred.
Mm.
Now, beforehand, the prosecution has a live stream. They're thinking FaceTime. The defendants FaceTime Terrion to let him know, hey, we're doing what, you told us to do.
Mm.
Also, there is a group chat that includes Terrion Arnold, a group chat of messages that have Terrion Arnold directing on what to do when you guys are going to set, this plan in motion. So the two girls needed to lure the guys to some house in Tampa, and the guy and Terrion Arnold's friends would be hiding in the closet. One of them had an AK-47, the other one had a handgun. So the victims were punched, kicked, pistol whipped. A gun was put in both the people's mouth, both the victims' mouths. And Terrion later on pulled up with some guys or whatever, and he let everybody go, basically.
Mm.
So yeah, that is what the police report is alleging. Now, the two women, when they were questioned by the police, they flipped.
Of course.
They flipped. It is noted that one of the ladies that flipped, she took a plea deal, and guess how much time she got, y'all? 4 years.
Yeah, for not even being the lead in this situation. 4 years.
4 years. So the two girls, they were the first to flip, is what this police report is saying. They were the first to flip and snitch on Terrion and say, hey, this was his, plan. They named the other guys involved. So that's how the police got all this information. Now, obviously, this situation came to us in the public, around March?
Mm.
Yeah, it was around probably like March. And we obviously don't like to talk about off the field issues.
Yeah.
And then his lawyer had put out a statement.
Yeah, if it's speculation, yeah, we prefer to stay away from it. It sounded pretty problematic at the time. Like, it sounded like an issue, but also, again, you can only put so much stock in something that is alleged and that does not have any effect on the Lions. But yeah, clearly it doesn't.
Yeah, so now the Lions are at a dilemma of, okay, number one, we'll probably have to put out a release statement soon. Number two, are the Lions going to stand behind Terrion? Number three, are the Lions going to cut Terrion? Number four, we have the NFL that will impose their penalty for conduct detrimental, Number five, the prosecution is saying that they don't want Terrion to have a bond. They want to keep him in custody until the trial. They are not, well, at the moment, they're not offering a plea deal. He's in the Hillsborough County jail right now. His arraignment is actually today, Thursday, June 25th, and the prosecution is requesting no bail, stating that Terrion is a danger to society. They want no bond.
Yeah, and I think on Monday we'll figure out if he gets a bond or not.
Correct. But they're having, I believe, like their arraignment today to make sure that there's enough evidence to move forward, whatever the case may be. Yeah, so that's pretty much a lot of the story wrapped up. Terrion Arnold's Airbnb was broken into. $250,000 were stolen in jewelry, money, items, whatever the case may be. Terrion and his friends were convinced that a certain group of guys did it, kidnapped him, lured him to a place, pistol whipped him, and now we're here over $250,000. And it is to note, over the past 2 years, the Lions have paid Terrion Arnold $10 million.
Thank you for pointing out. Yeah, that.
Let that sink in.
Yeah, it doesn't seem worth it to do something like this. And again, we have no idea, what his role was. If all this is true, we'll see what comes of it. But it's pretty problematic. Obviously, one for him as a character. Like you said, it doesn't look good. I mean, Florida is not a state that is very lenient upon any kind of violent crimes. You consider the fact that the two people who already pled guilty and had a lesser role, it seems like in this situation, still got 4 years. Terrion Arnold will probably be afforded better lawyers and things like that, but a good lawyer only going to get you out of so much, especially when the evidence looks the way that it does. So it is a bit of a detriment for sure. And obviously, he's a player that has started a lot of games for the Lions in the past couple of years, and a person that potentially was going to be counted upon for the Lions this year. So that makes things a little bit iffy as well. I'd expect him to probably go on some type of commissioner's exempt list at some point, and the Lions can hold off on making a decision on what they plan to do, or they can just go ahead and cut him. I think they'll probably wait till more details come out, and eventually he will be let go, unless something changes drastically in the coming weeks, months, whatever. I wouldn't expect him to be a Lion very much longer, obviously.
Ooh, so you think that the Lions are going to cut him probably within like the next month?
Yeah. I mean, the Lions have seemed to prioritize high character guys in the past few years for sure. And I think the fact that I don't want to make it about Terrion Arnold's performance, but look, the NFL is a business, and we've seen it before. They're willing to put up with certain stuff if a player is performing better versus a player who's performing worse. Terrion Arnold is somebody who, again, the Lions probably would have been counting on this year, but also has not performed necessarily up to expectations of a first round pick the past couple of years. So it is a huge distraction. The details are, like I said, extremely problematic. Almost frightening in the sense that this is the state that he felt like he needed to take this to. And, he was the victim of a crime. So you want to have some kind of empathy, but this wasn't the way to go about it. It made no sense if this is what he chose to do. And it's unfortunate. It is unfortunate because Terrion, like you said, had not shown any signs of being an off the field issue or a low character person. So it is surprising that this is the path that he may have chose to go down. But I'd be surprised if the Lions have very much tolerance towards this, especially if he's not given a bond. I mean, what are you supposed to do?
Right, because my thing is, if he's not given a bond, y'all, training camp starts in about 4 weeks. He got to get ready for training camp. The season is about to start less than 93 days. So if he's not given a bond.
Yeah. And again, this isn't like a player that, let's say, you think of Calvin Johnson in his prime. Imagine Calvin Johnson 6 or 7 years into his career. Something like this happens right before training camp. He's a player that can step on the field and go out and just kill it regardless of whatever state or wherever he just was. Terrion Arnold is a player that pretty damn clearly needs training camp still. So to think that, this may magically be resolved and he can just jump back in a couple months, no, it's still not realistic. This is not a player who has proven himself yet. So, yeah, I'd be surprised if the Lions deal with it much more. But at the same time, we'll see, because you look at situations like what was going on with James Pierce in Atlanta. That was a player who I thought should have been given a boot from the league. That was a really crazy situation. He was legitimately trying to kill that girl, and a high-profile individual at that. and he has. I don't know if they've given him suspension yet, but it'll probably be, 6 games, 10 games, 12 games, whatever it may be. Falcons have not released him, and whenever he is eligible to play, he's going to play. Yeah, it's just not a good look. It's very unlikely, I think, that the Lions do choose to deal with this. But again, like I said, crazier things have happened when these off the field issues come up. So we'll see. We'll see.
I think it's Florida though, Terrion. Florida don't play. And the prosecutor, they want him to do time.
Oh, for
They've
sure.
made it clear.
Yeah, you orchestrate somebody being pistol whipped, kidnapped, put a gun in their mouth. Like this is serious stuff. Like this is stuff out of the movies. Like this is wild behavior. So it's not going to come with minimal consequence, regardless of if he pleads or whatever it may be. I mean, he could plead guilty. He's going to get some time. I don't want to estimate what it's going to be, but like he not getting a 5 months probation, suspended sentence. Like he not getting that. He not getting that even if he plead guilty. Like this is time that he's going to do.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, he gonna get some time. The girl that did the setting up, I mean, she was there and she was actively participating. She got 4 years, and the prosecution is saying that Terrion is the mastermind, and they want him the worst.
Look, the only way I
Bruh.
see Terrion not doing at least like 5 years is if he takes it to trial and he beat it. That's the only way that I think that he is not going to do some serious time is if he takes it to trial and he does beat it. And again, we don't know what all the evidence looks like, so who knows? I mean, he didn't go in there, it seems like, and beat anybody up or pistol whip them, but there seems to be, the prosecutor believes they have evidence that says that he directed it.
He directed it, planned it, and he pulled up to the scene.
Which is just as bad. I mean, we see people who don't necessarily murder somebody, but commit conspiracy to do those kind of things. They get the same sentence that a person who unalive somebody would get.
The
So
same. Yep.
yeah, conspiracy to do something or actually doing it, regardless, you can get a lot of time.
My thing is my audio clear to you?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. My thing is, before this instance, Detroit was already 50 on you, Terrion. 50% of the fans said this is bust, and then the other half was like, well, this is going to be his breakout year. He's turning a corner, and now you do this. So the NFL is going to hand out any suspension, even if you make it out of this, you're still getting disciplined by the NFL.
Oh, absolutely.
The Detroit Lions, I'm leaning towards they're gonna cut you. Now they gonna have to eat, I believe, $8 million in cap money. It's not a huge contract, but they're gonna have to cut you. Number two, number three, you have a bond hearing, which the prosecution is saying no bond. But imagine you get a bond. Okay, you got that $250,000 stole from you. Your bond could be anywhere from 250 to $1 million.
Mm-hmm.
That it could be 10% bond, or they might just say, well, we want 100% cash.
Yeah.
So now you done came up out of more money. You got a high-powered lawyer that you have to have on retainer, probably $100,000 retainer.
Mm-hmm.
So you pay a lawyer fees. You might get cut by the Detroit Lions. You're employed for the Detroit Lions. The fans already feel 50 on you. Even if you make it out of this will always be brought up. You're not getting a big contract. Even if you make it out of this, you continue to play for us after your suspension. They gonna lowball you because you got off the field issues. You're not getting a big contract after this. If you make it out of this, which I don't think you're gonna make it out of this without either doing jail time or probation. But you see how much more money you came up out of besides the 250,000 that was allegedly stole from you.
Mm-hmm.
You about to be out millions, bruh. And then you file the police report, be so arrogant to file the police report the day before, and then the day after you do the robbery. I mean, bro, where your security? Like, where your security systems? Obviously, Terrion makes about $4 million a year from the Detroit Lions. Is it worth? And his whole contract is 4 years, $14 million. It's $250,000 worth. 14.
Yeah, no.
Because your contract about to be done, bruh. So you about to be playing, hopefully, for a bigger contract should this situation have never happened. You will be playing for a bigger contract. And Dan Campbell, last week when he spoke to the media, before this issue, he said that you in a cornerback battle, you're not guaranteed, you're not getting your spot back automatically. So people already were not sold on you, and you just handed them more leverage.
Yeah, I think, and to speak to the contract situation, because that's really where he's in a precarious situation here. He's going into his third year as a player. As a rookie, obviously, you sign a 4-year deal, and the team can exercise a fifth-year option. Let's be real here. Unless these charges get dropped or something like very, something that makes it seem like he clearly didn't do this, or something that makes him look innocent comes out within the next month or so, he's not playing this year. Regardless of if he is a Lion, he's not going to be playing. He's going to be on the commissioner's exempt list. They're not going to allow him to play while he is standing trial for a crime like this. Like, it's not going to happen. So there's your third year. Your third year is gone. The Lions will have the decision to exercise a fifth-year option at the end of that season. They're not going to do it. I mean, your first 2 years of production weren't that good. Your third year, you didn't play because you were on trial for a heinous crime. And best case scenario, you get off on that crime and then you have that fourth year left. But they're not exercising your fifth year option either. So, yeah, the best case scenario, even for Terrion Arnold, is not good. He's not going to play this year unless these charges get dropped within the next month or two. He's not going to play football this year, whether it's for the Lions or anybody else. And that puts a pretty big dent on his career.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, even if you make it out of this, you're not getting a big contract. The best case scenario, if you make it out of this after the Lions is done with you, you might get brought on to a team on a 1-year prove it deal. Maybe.
That's if you don't get convicted of this. If you get convicted or you plead guilty, his career's over.
Like, you out of either way, he's out of millions.
Yeah.
And then you have the bonus. He's eligible for the roster bonus, I believe, which is around $1 million. The NFL, well, Detroit Lions can void that if they find conduct detrimental to the team. You think the Lions not about to void this bonus?
It's a mess. It is a mess, and we can look to get through all this kind of stuff later as more details come out and that happens. But I guess the question that I have for you, because I have a thought, what's the situation at corner look like for the Lions now?
Oh man, I mean, even before the situation, I mean, the corner position was a crowded room. I mean, we got who we got? We got DJ Reed. I mean, you got Khalil Dorsey,
Rocky Sin,
Rocky Sin, which is probably gonna be who's gonna take. You got Ennis Rakestraw, who hasn't really played that much. I know he has the injury issues. I believe he's healthy. It's gonna be an all-out competition.
you drafted a cornerback in the fifth round who had
Oh,
second
Keith.
value. Yeah, so it's a lot of options in that room for sure. I think Rocky Sin will probably be the favorite, but again, we'd love to see Rakestraw leave his imprint. We'd love to see the rookie step up and make some plays. But I'm gonna be real with you here. I think the Lions need to go ahead and get aggressive.
You think we need a corner?
I'm calling Cleveland and I'm asking, will you give me Denzel Ward for a first round pick?
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, we already obviously have the issues with the safeties just based on injuries and stuff like that. And there are some decent guys still back there, but your top two safeties have injury issues right now. DJ Reed should be good, but was not very good last year, to be fair, already. And he's your cornerback number one right now. Don't really like that as a cornerback number one option. I think the Lions, this is their weakness right now. It is. So the secondary is the
Secondary is definitely the weakness.
I think the Lions will probably have a top three offense at minimum this year. I think the defense has some good pieces. I think they've done some good things to upgrade the defensive line. I like the linebacker room pretty well. They have struggled with the corner position regardless. If Terrion Arnold was here, they might still have struggled in the corner.
And that's what I'm saying.
I think they need to go out and be aggressive. They need to try and make a move for a bona fide corner from a team that will be willing to give up a good corner.
You know what? I don't hate that idea. You think that they'll only want a first round, though? And they won't want another player.
I honestly don't know what the value is or what the market is. Denzel Ward's a good corner. He can play man coverage, which is what the Lions still seem to want to do a lot of. I don't care who it is. I just think the Lions need to go out and they need to get aggressive here and find a corner. And I don't think they should wait very long to do it. That's what I would do. Again, I think that this offense can win a Super Bowl. I think that this defense, if you can get at least one of those safeties back for a decent portion of this season, I think is good enough to be upper half of the league. I don't want to say top 10 necessarily, but upper half of the league. I think this is the time to be aggressive. Like, you've been waiting for a long time. You haven't moved draft picks for players, really. You've moved draft picks for draft picks, I guess, but you haven't moved draft picks necessarily for players. I don't know what you're waiting for at this point. Like, it's year 5 of Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes at this point. You've almost reached the mountaintop so many times now. You've gotten really close. You've won 15 games in a season. You've been 24-7 lead away from being in the Super Bowl. Like, it's right there. It is right there.
Yeah, I think
Get a corner.
defensively, yeah.
Yeah, I would do it. I would go get a corner. It doesn't really matter who it is, but it needs to be somebody that is good.
What about Quinyon Mitchell?
Philly not giving him up. They'd be insane to give him up. I would love that. I would love that. And to be fair, Philly did sign Tariq Woolen, and they do have Cooper DeJean, but I think that Philly knows that's the strength of their defense. Philly's going to compete just like us. They'd be crazy to make that trade. Also, he's like in his 3rd year, so you're giving up a haul for him.
He was drafted the same year as Terrion. He was selected 22, and Terrion was selected 24.
And I think the Lions did want him too. And yeah, I wouldn't do that because if you see what Sauce Gardner went for last year, I think Quinyon Mitchell goes for that, if not more. 2 first-round picks and a player.
So, yeah, we need somebody prime time. I would have liked Woolen, but I believe he already signed down.
Yeah. There's a team that's going to fall out of contention at some point. I mean, they could wait to the middle of the season to do it as well. But I think the Lions need to go out and make a big move for a corner. Don't let Rocky Sin and DJ Reed play for the number 2 spot. I do like the Roger McCreary signing. I think he can play the nickel. I think you got a lot of guys that can play the nickel. And I know that the Lions are big believers in their guys. As I mentioned when the season ended, that was my biggest issue with the Lions, is that they believe too much in their guys, that they leave them out on islands with Puka Nacua and guys like that. They aren't that good. They believe in their guys a little bit too much. I think they need to go out and get a bona fide number 1 corner. If you got to get up a first-round pick, just do it.
Yeah, Puka.
They love leaving their guys on an island, and it's like, okay, well, at least get the best guys if you're going to do something like that. If DJ Reed and Rocky Sin are the guys that are left on an island with these guys. Again, I love Rocky Sin. If those are the 2 guys that are left on the island and we have to play the Rams in the playoffs, like, yeah, I mean, how do we stop the Rams from scoring 50 points in that game? I don't know.
We ain't got all the damn players in the NFL.
Yeah, Aaron Donald is on his way too. Aaron Donald is on his way back too. I just know he is. So
you think so?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
But his wife, she said no.
She's not him.
Beginning of June, did you see the video? He was sleeping like on her shoulder or whatever, and she was like, "Yeah, it's a no for y'all."
Yeah, nah, he's coming back. I don't know when it'll be, but he might wait till close to the beginning of the season. He's coming back.
If he come back, I'm crashing out. I'm crashing out because you got Aaron Donald, you got McDuffie, bruh. You got Myles Garrett, arguably one of the best defensive players ever. You got that crazy wide receiver room. Your defensive line is really nice too. Yeah. Bruh, no.
Yeah, I mean that's why I say that the Lions have to consider making a bold move because the Rams do it, and I mean I'm not saying that we got to be like the
Rams do it all the time.
Yeah, they say, you know what, Myles Garrett is what's going to put us over the top. Let's go do it. I think the Lions need to swing a first-round pick or a second-round pick or a first and a fifth or something. They need to make a swing. Denzel Ward is just the first guy that comes to mind because he's a good corner on a bad team, but something got to give. The Lions need a number 1 corner anyway.
Yeah, because you even seen Sean McVay when the playoffs concluded. Well, when their playoff run concluded and Seattle beat them, Sean McVay was walking off the field with that little smirk. He was like, "Yeah, I got something for you, bitch."
Yeah, nah.
Myles Garrett.
It's like, why not go out and get a corner? I mean, if you if you're really good this year and you fall short because your corner room is weak, you're going to draft a corner in the first round of the draft anyway. Why not get a short thing instead
Yeah,
of
we gotta be
quick?
aggressive. I mean, the other GMs are being aggressive, and I know that Brad Holmes likes to keep the saying of, okay, well, we develop during the draft, which I don't necessarily agree with, but sometimes we do got to take a big swing, just like the Pistons. We got to take a swing because my thing is we was 15-2. We got destroyed by a rookie. Home field, 65,000 screaming fans by Jaden Daniels.
Yep.
Season before that, we lost the game before the Super Bowl. We don't even need to discuss that. I mean, I was there at Ford Field, the watch party, heartbroken. You can hear a mouse piss on cotton. Last year, we finished bottom of the division. I mean, but it wasn't because of our offense, but injuries and then, of course, the defense. But we have to take a big swing. Like, we need NFC Championship. Now, obviously, you see what the Rams did, but NFC Championship, just like for the Pistons, Eastern Conference Final or bust. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I think and as a Detroit fan, I think that also the frustration has been mounting because the Tigers are passive way too often. The Pistons, they won 60 games and they did outperform expectations, but it was pretty clear that they should have went and got somebody at the deadline if they really wanted to win because they needed another scorer. And now they need to go out and get another scorer, and we're still waiting. And to be fair, free agency hasn't started, but that's another team where we're like, are we being passive here? And then the Lions love sitting on these picks. And there's nothing wrong with that if you're a team that is building. But at this point, this is the identity of your team. If you're going to win in the next few years, this is the team you're going to win with. Go make it as good as possible. Go get an elite corner. One corner.
Make
Just
it
do it.
happen.
Just do it. I'm not asking for Max Crosby. I'm not asking for the trades that we have been seeing during the offseason, blah, blah, blah. Go get a corner. You need it. Because, again, we don't know if the corners would have been good this year, even with Terrion. Without him, it's going to hold the Lions back. It really is.
It's looking real grim.
Yeah, I mean, I think that this is still a really good team, and I think they will still win a lot of games. But at the end of the day, it's not about how many games you win in a regular season. When you got to go up against the Rams, I don't think the Rams are unbeatable for the Lions. I don't. But if the Lions don't have another corner, then I do. I do
I
think
think
that.
defensively, we got issues.
I think if the Lions revert to previous year's form, they can slow the run down a little bit and make the Rams one-dimensional, which is a start. They should be able to get a little more pressure on Matthew Stafford. But the fact of the matter is, if Stafford can just throw the ball up because he knows that one of his guys are going to be open, regardless of a run game, regardless of a pass rush, because the corners can't hold up, that's where you run into issues. So
Bro, remember the game? Oh, go ahead.
they just got you got it. They just got to get another corner. They got to get another corner.
Because remember the game December 14th last year. By the way, my birthday. Devontae and Puka cooked us.
Yeah, Puka has like
And I believe the other guy cooked us.
and mind you,
We're cooking.
we're watching the game, and I'm literally calling it out. I'm like, it's 4th and 8, and the Rams are going for it, and I'm literally looking at everybody in the living room. And I'm like, they're going to go to the one-on-one coverage to Puka Nacua. The Lions need to double him. The Lions would not double him. They're like, DJ Reed's going to hold up. He's going to hold up. He didn't. And it's not because DJ Reed is a horrible player, but it's not a good matchup. He's not going to hold up. The Lions got a lot of changes that they need to make, but they need to get a corner that you can rely on to hold up from somewhere, from somebody. I don't know who got him, who willing to give him up, but they need to dangle one of them picks.
Come on with it. Now, quick thing on the Detroit Tigers, because I want your opinion. Trade Tariq Skubal or no? Let me hear it.
If this was any other sport, yes. In baseball, no. I say baseball because baseball is so random and is so chaotic. The Tigers are going to get back into this thing. I know they're struggling right now. They're going to get back into this thing. And you go into the playoffs, if you get into the playoffs, you got a pitcher like Skubal, you can win the World Series. Baseball is a weird, weird sport. I don't think the Tigers are out of this at all.
I don't think they're out of it, but
He gonna walk. He gonna walk in the offseason. Somebody else is gonna sign him. We're not gonna pay him the money unless he's willing to take a hometown discount, which he shouldn't. But I think you keep him because, again, baseball is a strange sport. If the Tigers get back into this thing, he's going to be the player that's going to help you win a World Series. Flags fly forever, baby. They do.
So you saying don't trade Tariq?
I
I've
wouldn't,
been 50.
wouldn't trade him. If they really go like they sink before the trade deadline, like really just go below, so be it. If you 20 games out, you way out of it, I can understand that. But as presently constructed, I will wait.
Because what we got? Maybe 91, 90 games left?
Yeah, like and the Tigers do this. They're so streaky. They are so streaky, and they really haven't gotten good streaky yet. They're going to have a streak where they go on a 10-game win streak, get back to 500, and then you kind of go from there. You sneak into a wild card. You do whatever. Like if you got a game, one game, and you need to win that game, and you got Scooble on the mound, you got a shot. You just do.
You don't think he's fell off from that elbow surgery though?
I'd be lying if I said I've watched the Tigers a ton this year. I haven't had the chance to watch them as much as I'd like. But no, I haven't seen enough evidence to say that he has fallen off. No.
I've seen some games.
Yeah. I mean, if he's
Decent.
hurt,
Not bad.
yeah. I mean, if he's hurt, then he's hurt. And they have had horrible injury luck, it seems like, so far in the season. But no, I wouldn't trade him. I wouldn't trade him.
Yeah, I'm 60-40. Don't trade him because I'm thinking the Tigers are going to get in this thing. They're going to get hot. But then, of course, when we lose a series, whatever the case may be, I'm like, okay, if we trade him, I need the kitchen sink.
That's the thing is, yeah, you gotta. I don't even know what a haul looks like for literally the best pitcher in baseball. Like, what does that haul look like?
Dodgers. I need their talent now.
I wouldn't even deal with them. They got too many good players. Out of good conscience, if I'm a commissioner, I would be like, nah, y'all can't have him, bro. I'm stepping in.
No, we need the Dodgers talent. If we do a Tariq Skubal trade, Cy Young winner, back to back. Best pitcher in baseball, well, lefty, whatever. Y'all can argue that out if you want. If we do a trade for Tariq Skubal, I need the Dodgers talent.
Yeah,
I want it.
there's other teams with talent though. I feel like you can get talent from other teams.
The Milwaukee Brewers look good too.
Yeah. There are people with other prospects. Obviously, in baseball, you may not be trading for a player that's necessarily in the majors yet. You're gonna need a couple cornerstone pieces. You're gonna need some guys that are already close to the majors that will be cost control for the future. You're gonna need pitchers and hitters in that deal. Like I need multiple guys.
Who after you?
Huh?
Who after you?
Who after me? Oh,
I heard an ambulance.
the sound of Newark, New Jersey. I will hold off. I can see the argument from both sides. But the Tigers just, again, with the passiveness, it's a little bit frustrating. But
That trade deadline is coming up. I believe it's like 40 something days.
Yeah, usually the baseball's trade deadline is July 31st, if I remember correctly. So, yeah.
Oh, then that ain't 40 something days. That's like 20.
Yeah, it's about a month away.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay, so all right, we'll touch on the Pistons, what they're doing, and then we can wrap some things up. But so the Pistons trade up draft night from number 21, pick 21 to 17 to draft Ibuka?
Ibuka Okori.
Yeah, Ibuka Okori. Some people like the pick, some people don't. I like the pick. I do think he's a little small, but I like the pick. I'll be honest. What do you think?
I'm a fan. I would give the pick solid B+. There were a couple guys on the board that I also felt like would have been worth the Pistons taking. As I mentioned to you, I thought Cameron Carr was a really good pick.
Yeah.
That went to the Lakers. I thought Christian Anderson, who went to the Hornets, was also a pretty good pick. But I like the pick for what it brings to the Pistons. And I have to say, for one, the amount of people who are like, this is just Marcus Sasser. Please stop it. Just because they're both 6'2" and shoot 3-pointers does not mean they're the same player. This guy gets to the rim instantly, almost forcefully gets to the rim. He's as quick as they come. He gets to the rim. He can finish at the rim. He can work on his finishing for sure, but he has a creative package of layups. Like, he does a lot. And he played for a really bad Stanford team. And he carried the load as a freshman on a bad team in a difficult conference, scoring 23 points a game. Mind you, for those who don't know, college basketball, they don't play 48 minutes a game. They only play 40 minutes a game. He scored pretty effortlessly at certain times. He had big games against really good teams. I think he scored 40 points against UNC, I want to say, or 36 points against UNC. Yep. He's young. He's a high character guy. Really smart kid. Was actually debating going to Harvard and ended up going to Stanford. And because he was playing so well, I think he just made the choice to go ahead and come out of the draft, which obviously made a lot of sense. So I'm a fan of Okori. I think he's a good player. I don't think he's going to start immediately for the Pistons, but I think that what his objective should be is when Cade Cunningham comes off the floor, the Pistons need another player who can break defenses down. Because when Cade Cunningham comes off the floor, they kind of don't have that. So they need somebody who can get in the pick and roll, who can get to the rim, who can get guys open looks, can get to the free throw line. Okori got to the free throw line 7 times a game last year and shot at 82%. So very effective player, can be an efficient player. Reminds me a lot of a combination of Tyrese Maxey and Kemba Walker. So very, very, very interesting player. When they asked him today who he models his game after, he said Colin Sexton, which I thought was pretty interesting as well. Another very aggressive, small scoring guard. So I like it. The Pistons need more people who can put the ball in the basket. Clearly, that's what they're trying to do. It's just getting a little weird because it seems like everybody is like holding a very high price over the Pistons' head to get the players that they want. So we'll see what they end up doing. But I like the Okori pick. I did. I think it's a scoring guard off the bench. He can do a lot.
Yeah, I like the Corey guy. I believe he averaged what was it, like 21 points a game, something like that.
23.
23. I think he could be a bucket getter. We definitely need a bucket getter. We definitely need a scorer. Yeah, I don't think he'll start immediately, but I think eventually they're going to start trying him out, seeing what he can and can't do. Now on to other Pistons news, because we do have the draft. We did, make a couple picks, but we did, number one, trade Stewart. Isaiah Stewart is traded to the Memphis Grizzlies for, I believe, 3 second-round picks.
Mm-hmm.
And we are still rumored to be getting a star guard. What do you make of all this?
I've been obsessed recently, the past couple of days, with trying to figure out what the hell the Pistons are doing here. They traded Stewart clearly to clear cap space, which he was going to be traded. It was pretty clear this offseason that they were going to move him, whether it was in a deal for Tyler Hero, whether it was in a deal for Trey Murphy. I don't think this is the deal that we were expecting, but it seems like the Pistons want to pick up somebody utilizing the cap space that they have. They wanted to extend that cap space. So I'm happy for Isaiah Stewart. As much as I'm sad to see him go, I think that he's a huge part of the identity of this team. But I do think that he deserves more opportunity somewhere else to be able to grow and to thrive, because the Pistons seem to be looking for something specific out of a 4/5, and I don't know if they believe he can provide that. With that being said, again, the Pistons are going to make a move, but it's hard to pinpoint what it is. Trey Murphy was the guy that kept coming up, and it was like Pistons have interest. The interest is legitimate. They want to trade for him. The people who run the Pelicans are the people who used to run the Pistons, and the people who specifically ran us into the ground. Troy Murphy, and to an extent, Joe Dumars. Joe Dumars did a lot of good, but Joe Dumars did a lot of bad. They are holding a really, really, really high price on Trey Murphy, and the Pistons seem to not be interested in paying it. I don't understand why they're holding this super high price for Trey Murphy. He's talented, never made an All-Star game, never made an All-NBA team. A good scorer, but more so a play finisher rather than a shot creator.
And that's what I'm saying. I'm like, all this speculation over Trey Murphy, no shade, but damn.
Yeah, like he's good. He's good, and he fits the Pistons really well. Absolutely. Does that mean that you should gut your entire roster or give up every first-round pick you have for the next however many years for a player who, again, has not even made an All-Star team? So it's a bit interesting to see. The Pistons seem to not want to pay that price, but maybe eventually they will if they strike out on the guys that they want to get. Tyler Hero was another guy who they were interested in getting, potentially in a 3-team deal with Giannis. That kind of fell apart, and they ended up just dealing with each other. And Hero went to Milwaukee, but even now it seems the Pistons have an interest in Hero still. He's another guy. You don't overpay for Tyler Hero. Tyler Hero has issues with injuries. Tyler Hero does not play a lot of defense. Tyler Hero's value just in general, I don't think is very high right now around the league, because he have seen some success when he is not on the floor. With that being said, he does fit, again, what the Pistons could use very well. They need somebody who can put the ball in the basket and get other guys good looks, and that is one thing the talent hero can do. But now the rumors are just swirling about anybody. I saw LeBron James come up in a rumor last night. Don't know why the Pistons would do that. Don't really understand the fit. Obviously, he's LeBron James, so like nobody's complaining, but I don't really understand that either. And now it seems like the Pistons are very, very actively interested in Kawhi Leonard, of all people. And I am a huge fan of Kawhi Leonard as a player. Just talking about the way that he performs. He put up 60 points against us last season. He's fantastic. He was a borderline top 5 player last year. He does literally everything you want. He's an elite defender. He's an elite scorer on the ball, off the ball, whatever. He can shoot the 3, he can shoot the 2, he can get to the rim. He does literally everything on the floor. He can rebound. He's an outstanding player. We know what the issue is with Kawhi Leonard. It is injuries. Kawhi Leonard is injury prone. Kawhi Leonard does not want to play in Detroit. I don't think he wants to play anywhere that is cold in general. He has 1 year left on his deal. If you trade for Kawhi Leonard, he's not going to re-sign with you. And I think the Pistons should.
Hello.
Yeah, they should know that. But at the same time, Toronto, I think, knew that as well. When they picked him up back in 2019, they didn't care. And Kawhi Leonard led them to a championship. If Kawhi Leonard led the Pistons to a championship and then he left, I would not be mad. But if you don't win the championship that 1 year that he is there, you gave up significant assets, which I think they'll have to give up significant assets at least, for a player who's going to walk away. He's going to play this year. I will say that. People are worried about the low management. This is a contract year. He's going to play. He wants another max contract before he walks off into the sunset. It is risky. And I mean 10 out of 10 level risky. It is high risk, high reward. I mean, he's fantastic. He fits the Pistons perfectly. You can literally, if you put him in this lineup, the only other person that you need in the starting lineup is the person that can shoot the basketball. Because him, Cade, Asar, and Duran would be a fantastic lineup. The other person would literally just need to be able to make 3-pointers. That is it.
I don't think this is going to work, though. Kawhi, obviously, is a spectacular player. He's getting older, but he can still play. Last year, we saw that. But you got some tissue on your beard. But the antics, the low management, the NBA doing a investigation into his contract, him possibly throwing a temper tantrum if he comes here because he does not want to come here, people. This won't work. His talent I don't question, but everything else I do. I don't think this is gonna work. I don't want him. I don't care about Murphy. I'm not big on Hero. Now I will say who I want, but it may be too much, and I don't think they're going to be willing to come up off him.
Devin Booker.
I would have liked that, but I believe he resigned.
Oh yeah, I mean, you'd have to pay Devin Booker. His contract is like the biggest contract in the league. So,
but besides that, there was somebody else I wanted out west.
Oh, are we thinking of the same person? Because I have a person I want too.
Baby boy in Utah, Laurie.
Oh, you talking about Laurie?
Oh, him! I want him.
I think Laurie's an outstanding fit for the Pistons. Don't make trades with Danny Ainge. He is going to hold the Pistons over the fire. That's my issue. Is you're going to have to overpay for Lauri Markkanen. And Lauri Markkanen is injury prone, and Lauri Markkanen has never played. I think he's the longest tenured player in the NBA now that's never played in a playoff game. So I don't know if he contributes to winning.
He can ball. I want him. I think he fit perfect, but
he does.
I think it's going to be too much.
He does. And the Jazz are going to want. Personally, I think if you call the Jazz and you ask them about Lauri Markkanen, they're going to ask for a star.
Hold on now. Hold on. Them fighting words.
That's what I think. I think they're going to say a star, and they're not going to make a deal with you until you include
a star
and pick.
Okay, I don't know about all that, but I in a perfect world, I would have liked him. Okay, who you like?
You're not gonna like it either because it's a similar vein to Kawhi Leonard.
Hey, you better not say Kyrie Irving.
I actually do like the idea of Kyrie Irving, but he's not who I prefer right now because I think that shooting guards are more accessible. The Pistons can sign a 4 or trade for a 4, and they can pick up Colin Sexton, they can pick up Anthony Simons, they can pick up somebody in the free agent market, trade market for cheap. I want the Pistons to go after Kevin Durant.
Bye. Where my purse? Where my purse? Bye.
I'm sorry, Sierra, but He is the best individual scorer if we're talking about skill ever.
Well,
I
we
mean,
know that.
50, 40, 90 at 7 feet tall, can handle like a guard, still is an outstanding player, was the best player on the Houston Rockets last year, their only source of offense. He can defend, he can rebound, he has great size, he knows how to win. He can play in any kind of system because he is Kevin Durant. You can literally fit him anywhere. You can make him your primary guy with the ball in his hands. He can play off ball. He can shoot the three. He can shoot the mid range. He can create for himself. He is perfect. And the Pistons need a 4 more than they need a 2. I love Tobias Harris. I hope that Tobias Harris retires as a Piston. He's not a good fit in the starting lineup if you're starting Jalen Duren and Asar Thompson.
I agree.
Those three as a combination don't shoot the ball good enough to give Kate Cunningham space. Kevin Durant gives Kate Cunningham a shit ton of space. I think he is perfect. Don't know if Houston's going to give him up because they might still think that they want to win. But also, it was rumored that Houston is willing to trade everybody that is not named Amin Thompson this offseason.
Oh, okay. Slow it down. Slow it down. Now, obviously, Kevin Durant is one of the best players to ever play. No question. The age and the injuries concern me, though. That's the only thing. And I think Kevin Durant has a decent market. Who they gonna want for Kevin Durant?
They probably want picks and they want to match salary. That's it. So you're going to give up Karis LeVert. You're going to give up Marcus Sasser. You're going to give up Duncan Robinson. If Isaiah Stewart was still here, you would have given up him. And you're going to give up a whole bunch of picks. But I think that's the move. I think you make that move and you do whatever you got to do at the 2. And at that point, it's Cade, it's Asar, it's KD, it's Duren. And off the bench, you got Dennis, Okori, Javante, Tobias, Paul Reed. I'm sold.
Pistons GM.
I'm sold.
Hold on. Okay. But my thing is, Kevin Durant would be another situation like Kawhi. Obviously, he's one of the best players to ever play. He's going to command where he wants to go. And I don't know if it's Detroit. But on this one, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt because Kevin Durant lately seems to be a journeyman.
Yes, Kevin Durant spent his first, 8 years in Oklahoma. So I think he can play in Detroit for a year or two. Also, Kevin Durant is not quite like Kawhi, where Kawhi is a little bit spaced out. For one, Kevin Durant has a really good relationship with Kate Cunningham. They did a podcast together. I'm not sure if you've seen that. Just an episode, but it was a really good episode. They really connected very well. There seems to be a ton of mutual respect there. Kevin Durant's an intelligent guy. I think that he would embrace Detroit a little bit, especially being from a place like DC, being from an inner city area, being from a tougher environment. I don't think this is like Kawhi. Kawhi wants beaches and Kawhi wants endorsements and whatever is going to maximize his money. Kevin Durant clearly still prioritizes winning, and I think that he prioritizes legacy a little bit. He came here and, he got us to where we need to go. I think that looks good for KD. I do. I just think it's a seamless fit.
Make it better than the Kawhi thing. I just don't know, considering just the injuries. But obviously, he has the talent now. We obviously there's no question there. But I'm thinking maybe Kevin Durant might go home to DC, considering what they do.
Not because the Wizards got them and the Jazz have too many players. They have so many young players. It's ridiculous. I mean, they got Trae Young, obviously. They got Anthony Davis as the two big names. But they got Alex Sarr. They got Keyshawn Johnson. They got AJ DeMessina. They got Trey Johnson. They have all these guys. They got Bub Carrington. They have to find minutes for these people. There's only one basketball on the court. Now, they could trade some of those guys for Kevin Durant, but at that point, you are committing to Trae Young, Anthony Davis, and Kevin Durant, which feels a little bit Brooklyn Nets-y with the Kyrie and James Harden thing. So, I don't know if that's the move.
But he's older, more mature now.
That could go the same way, though, where it blows up after a year or two, and those old guys just leave. They got to run with the youth movement. I don't think that's a good move for them. Not right now. I think KD can come here, and he can instantly contribute to a team that can win the Eastern Conference right now.
Because my thing is, okay, whatever move we make, I think it needs to be a big enough move to where we keep up with the Knicks, Celtics, maybe Indiana. It depends.
Celtics is fun because also Jaylen Brown is on the market.
I would like him.
Like him, but I don't see the path for it as much now that Isaiah Stewart is gone. Because what I would have done is I would have sent Jalen Duren in the first round pick to the Celtics because clearly they want a center, and Isaiah Stewart and Paul Reed would have been my centers. But now you just got Paul Reed if you trade Jalen Duren. So I don't think the Celtics are going to go for salary cap filler and first round picks necessarily. They want a talented young guy. They're going to ask for Duren or Asar too.
Yeah, I think Boston, because Boston still want to compete. I think they'll ask for a big time guy. I think they probably would. It probably would be a SAR. That's what I would think they would ask for. But
Yeah, and I mean you consider that because Jaylen Brown is also a really good defensive player.
hold on now. I don't know.
I mean, do I think Asar Thompson will ever be as good of an all-around player as Jaylen Brown is right now? I don't. Jaylen Brown was like borderline MVP this year. He averaged 30 points a game.
Yeah, he was go. That boy was go. But Asar, with his age and his upside, now his defense is already there.
Oh yeah.
Now, offensively, maybe he could do a little better, but I don't know if I put Asar on the table.
Yeah, I'm very anti-trading Asar unless it is for a bona fide. Only person I'm putting Asar in a deal for outside of Wimby's and Edwards and guys like that. Only guy that might be attainable right now is a Devin Booker. That's the only person I put Asar in the trade talk for.
Yeah, but
Like Kawhi, nah, no, hell no.
no. And then my thing is, I'm okay here in any trade talks, Pistons, and I'm okay with the Isaiah Stewart move because my thing is Isaiah Stewart past 4 seasons he ain't finished the damn season because of injuries. So
Yeah,
Asar and Cade are the only two people for me, Detroit wise, that are off the table. Everybody else, I hear it. During the bench, I hear it.
yeah, I'll hear it for Duren, but I also think that to me the issue with trading Jalen Duren is that asset management is so important. If you're going to trade Jalen Duren coming off of his worst stretch of basketball, pretty much since he's been a player, it's kind of selling low on him. You got to get good value for him because people are going to be like, oh well, he's struggling in the playoffs. Why do I want him on a big contract? This is a player who's all NBA, an all star, and is 22 years old. You need to get the appropriate value for a player with those accomplishments. And I don't know if the Pistons are going to get that right now, considering his playoff performance. Again, him for Jaylen Brown, I was like, okay, that's valid. But if they were going to do like the Austin Reeves thing with the Lakers, which it sounded like the Pistons were going heavily after Austin Reeves.
No.
I hate that. I hate that. I don't like Duren for Austin Reeves. I think that's selling low on him. I really do. I don't think Austin Reeves is going to be that good outside of LA. I really don't. But the Pistons did clearly have interest in him, and the Pistons might be the reason why he got a max contract. Because apparently we were like, we got some money to pay him, and the Lakers were like, all right, we'll pay him for real.
I'm glad we didn't do that. But my thing is, I'm not saying trade Duren or not trade him, but Asar and Cade are the only two people that are off the table. Anybody else, I'll hear it. But with Duren, he is a very young player. I believe he make an All NBA team. I know he made the All Star team.
Third team All NBA. Yep.
Yeah, he made All NBA. He was an All Star. Now the playoffs, he was a little shaky. He is only 22.
Exactly.
He's a good defender, but obviously he made some mistakes in the playoffs. But if we're going to hear trade talks for Jalen Duren, it got to be for something big. I don't want to hear no developmental 20-year-old guy. No, it got to be something big if we going to hear it for Jalen Duren. But we better be swinging for the fence. Whoever we land, it better swing for the fence because we already got New York Knicks, obviously are the champions. Boston still hanging around. I know they messed up with Philly with them 3-pointers. Who after you? They messed up with those 3-pointers with Philly and got messed around and got eliminated. What if Orlando makes a move to get a shooter too?
They can't. They don't have any moves to make. They cap strapped and they gave up all their picks for Desmond Bane.
Are they cap strapped?
Yeah.
Okay, well, we still got issues with Orlando. Obviously, you saw the first round. Now, I think we can beat them. Tyrese Halliburton. Will Indiana be in the mix? I'm thinking so. But Boston, New York, it's going to be us. Obviously, the Giannis and Bam trade. I think it's giving 7 seed. Now, I'm not saying I'm scared of the Heat right now.
It's a weird team, boy. I want to see how they fill out that roster. It's so strange.
I'm not worried about them right now. But the Knicks, Boston, possibly Indiana, Orlando is still in my mix. Obviously, Cleveland.
If we go get KD, I'm not worried about any of them.
That's if we get K. I don't think that's gonna happen. But I mean,
I don't
I
think so
welcome
either.
it.
But that's what I would be doing. Is I would be on the phone with them. I would be on the phone with the Celtics, and I mean, I guess you got to call Uncle Dennis, call Kawhi Uncle, and be like, bro, come on, please, please.
And who else we need to be on the phone with? And you may disagree all you want to. OKC. That bench, boy, they got some talent out there.
Oh yeah. I mean, I take Casey Wallace. I take Jalen Williams. I take Chet. I know people is low on Chet right now. I take Chet in the instant.
Chet had some mistakes this playoff run. But OKC, one thing about OKC, now I know obviously the Spurs, Wemby, they found the answer to stop OKC with the Spurs defense. But one thing about OKC is when they sub out those starters and they put in those bench players, it's like they ain't never missed a beat.
Yeah,
They got talent.
AJ Mitchell, like it's guys over there. Yeah, I'd be intrigued. Shaden Sharp in Portland. I mean, there's a lot of interesting names out there. I think the Pistons should go after a 4 because 2s are easier to find right now. I think KD. I mean, again, Kawhi, I'll take it. But again, as we said, the risk is just so wild. Like it is a roll of the dice with that guy. Like it really is a roll of the dice. But KD, you know what you get, especially if he can stay moderately healthy. You know what you get. Kawhi, boy, you just don't know. He just might not show up. He might just forfeit his salary. He might be like, I'm gonna go over here and plant fake trees in LA and get some more money from the Clippers. Like, yeah,
I don't like the Kawhi thing. I'm not gonna like it, but
I just love it so much as a player, though. It's such a perfect fit.
my thing is, whatever it is, I'm telling you, Detroit Pistons, it better be a swing. Don't get me no 20-year-old player. Don't get me, and y'all better not use that word developmental. No, I need a star right now because we need to keep up with the Knicks. The Knicks already, won the championship. We need an answer to the Knicks, Cleveland, maybe Orlando, the Heat. Boston, we need to stay in the mix. So this swing that we take, it better be a nice swing.
Yeah, part of me is just afraid that the swing is going to be Norman Powell and nobody else. But I hope that it's not that. Though they apparently interested in Norman Powell. I just got to say, before we get off here, can you imagine a perimeter defense of Kawhi, Asar, and Cade? I mean, teams would struggle to score 80 points against the Pistons.
I mean, yeah, but how many games? And Kawhi, he don't want to be here. He gonna throw a temper tantrum, load management. He ain't playing.
I mean, he don't got to play as much defense because you got Asar already. But like, imagine them locked in the playoffs. Like, they would literally take James Harden's head off. Like,
But I don't think the logistics.
they would batter Jalen Brunson. They would literally take him and just put him in the incinerator. Like, that would be the most insane perimeter defense ever. Because Cade is excellent on defense. And you got Asar and Kawhi, who might be borderline the best perimeter defender ever.
I like it on paper. I like it. I'm with you when you're right. But
my God.
when we work this thing out, I don't like it. I don't think it's gonna work.
I feel you.
Something gonna happen.
I agree. I agree. But clearly the Pistons aren't interested. They're doing the whole thing where a girl is like, no, I'm not really interested. And you be like, just let me take you out. I promise. You'll like it. I get you. I get you. I promise you. You'll rock with me. I swear you will. Like, I'm not really sure. Just let me. I swear, bro. I swear. Just let me do it. Like, they really are like on that wave. It's what the reports are making it sound like. It's like, come on, Kawhi, just give it a shot. Like, come on, why not? Why not? You got 2 rings already in the East and West. Why not?
I mean,
I'm telling you, they sound very interested, but we'll see. They're gonna go get somebody.
I don't think Kawhi's flirting back though.
That's the thing, is Kawhi is like, I'm about to block you. That's the problem. He said, y'all get snow here?
Unfollow.
Yeah, no, literally. So
You keep on flirting, block.
yeah, he about to call HR on the Pistons.
All right, well, we are going to, I think we should kind of do more episodes a little more frequently, considering all the things that are going on. The Lions will be starting their training camp soon, but I appreciate y'all guys because y'all been on me. CB, when y'all dropping the next episode? Y'all been invested.
Don't worry, we got clips for days. We got the Kawhi HR episode. That's what I'm gonna title this one.
Y'all tell my brother to let this go. He not letting it go, man.
It's not harassment, I promise.
What's the balloon? You just holding on like this. Let it go.
Yeah, yeah. Again, KD's my preferred move, but Kawhi would be absurd if he actually plays more than 30 games.
All right. Well, we appreciate all our listeners, Detroit, and anywhere else you listen to us. That is King Keith. My name is CB. You can follow us anywhere you get your podcast. Seven Lions, TikTok, Amazon Music, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. You can check out our clips on TikTok. I appreciate so many listeners because y'all been messaging me even about this breaking news, like y'all dropping an episode. So I appreciate y'all. I do appreciate all of our listeners. We love you, Detroit. Peace.
Hey.